The following podcast is intended for mature audiences. If you enjoy our work, please like, comment, subscribe, and follow the links in the description. Thanks for your support, and enjoy.
Greetings and salutations, listener. It is I, Eric J. Chucky, joined as always by Stuffy McGee the Boy.
Hey.
We have traded sickness, although I still have a little bit of crap in my ear. His is coming out of his face.
Yeah, fair warning, I might sneeze. Sporks has to let it out, but we both know how reliable a claim that is.
It's not gonna fucking happen, Ultimo. Just live with yourself.
So, I'm gonna try and, there's a mute button here. I'll try and remember to hit it. So if you hear, weird silence, that's what's happened.
Just interrupticus.
Literally, the more I talk, the stuffier I get. So, talk now.
All right, so I'm going to go into a long, drawn-out explanation of what's going on here so that the boy can rejuvenate his nasal passages. Are you guys hyped for Injustice 2? Because I'm fucking hyped for Injustice 2. They have got a really cool new roster, and I will go through some of that myself here in a moment. We've also got Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite coming out later this year, I believe, if not next year.
With a bunch more cool Marvel characters.
Well, we don't know much about that yet, but presumably there's going to be more cool Marvel characters. So we thought, because it worked so well years ago when we started this podcast, let's talk about characters we'd love to see in a superhero fighting game. Superheroes and supervillains.
Since apparently, Kevin Feige just listens to the fucking podcast,
which
he's a listener.
I appreciate.
Yeah, Kevin, listen, alright. If you got any pull at the games side of Marvel, or the games side of video games, try and make this happen.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, so, just so as you're knowing, in case you guys are just joining us, as it were, so far...
Fuck it, that's a callback joke.
Yeah. The confirmed roster for Injustice 2 is Aquaman, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Cheetah, Darkseid, Catwoman, Green Lantern, Bane, Cyborg, Jon Stewart, Harley Quinn, Reverse Flash, Deadshot, Atrocitus, Black Canary, Blue Beetle, Brainiac, Power Girl, Gorilla Grodd, Poison Ivy, Robin, Scarecrow, Supergirl, and Swamp Thing. A couple of those really tickle my fancy personally. I'm very excited about.
A couple of those are actually ones that might end up on my list if I didn't already have other very similar characters on there. And one is one I definitely forgot to add.
Who's that?
He's not one of the ones in Injustice. He has a spreadsheet. Because we all know White makes spreadsheets like he breathes.
Yeah.
He has a spreadsheet including a bunch of other DC characters, and...
They're actually all the DC characters that have ever been in a DC fighting game.
Oh, that's awesome. What fucking one was he in? You know what? We'll get there.
If you want to, sure. And on the Marvel side, we have, coming up in Infinite, definitely confirmed, Captain America, Captain Marvel, that is to say Carol Danvers, Iron Man, and that's it so far. There's only been 3 on the Marvel and 3 on the Capcom side confirmed. So we each made our own lists, and I was like, hey, let's do maybe 10 to 15, and we both blew fucking past that.
Yeah, turns out that's way easier than I thought it was going to be.
Name cool comic book characters? That sounds impossible.
Well, I mean, to be fair, some of these are ones that might make terrible fighting game characters, but I have them on here for other reasons why I'd like to see them in a fighting game or play them in a fighting game.
Sure.
We also made a neutral list of course we want this person, for fuck's sake.
Or, of course, they'll be in there, because look at the last few games.
So, our list will encompass none of the following. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the Joker, Green Lantern, the Flash, Harley Quinn, Captain America, Iron Man, Wolverine, Hulk, Spider-Man, Magneto, or Deadpool. Because of course we want them. Duh. And they'll probably, if there was one ultimate fighting game for comic books that had DC, Marvel, whatever other characters all fighting each other, of course these guys would be in the fucking game.
Yes.
Of course
Definitely.
They would. We're going to suggest some other properties that might do with an inclusion.
We also have some stuff in there that could probably be like an alternate attire with some different voice lines, like Injustice does. I mentioned Jon Stewart's going to be in the new game and Green Lantern. I think it's Hal Jordan's the default one.
But they're including a John alternate costume.
It's just a costume.
And
it wasn't...
There are a couple here that, it could just be definitely an alternate... I have one on my list that I know I would just use as an alternate skin. Like, I would just have it.
Well, like with like different voice lines, make it something special. But
like about the same as like the one before, the one that cost $20 in League. I forget what it's called.
Oh yeah, right.
The one that costs like $5 or $10. That's just it's a cool thing. It's a legendary skin. And then Ultimate is the ridiculous one. It costs $20 by itself, and oh my god, who has that kind of extra money for video games?
I think they're $30 actually.
Jesus.
I was looking at the new Blood Moon skins, and I was like, well, that's only $50. I have that, but that's my money. I'll pass for now. We're talking about superhero fighting game fantasies right now.
So what do you want to do? Just trade off?
That probably sounds like the best. I mean, we're going to spend more time on some of these than others, so don't expect us to like go in depth on every single thing we name. If we feel like we need context, we'll provide context.
Or if I feel like I need to like give you a brief overview of how this person would play. If they haven't been in a game before, if I don't like how they played in a game before.
Sure.
You start?
Yeah, I'll start. And it's funny you should bring that up because my first pick was Spawn. I'm not the huge Spawn fan. I fell off pretty hard after the 90s were over. But still, I think he's a really cool character with a really cool concept. I love the idea of his infinite powers. There's a lot you could do with that. And yeah, Spawn was in Soul Calibur 3, I think?
Yeah.
2 or 3, one of the two.
Yeah, he was on the Xbox version of Soul Calibur 2.
And he was lame. He wasn't great. He didn't have his cape. He was shitty.
Yeah, because I think it was Soul Calibur 2 because the PlayStation got Heihachi.
Which was such an awful... He doesn't even have a weapon.
Actually, it was really fun. And then the Wii... And then the GameCube got
Link.
Got Link.
Who was broken and hilariously fun from what I understand. Spawn was kind of meh. But, yeah, I would love to see him actually using his powers and, his cape. Oh my god.
Having the cape be a big part of the fighting style.
Hell yeah. Just allowing him to zip across the screen. Like a combination between Doctor Strange and Spider-Man in Marvel vs. Capcom, I think.
Yeah. We haven't decided if we would want this to be a 2D or a 3D fighting game. I mean, obviously I'm for 2D because I'm a Namco fighter kid. So, I'm for
3D.
I'm for 3D. Sorry, I just misspoke. Because I'm a Namco fighter kid. I like Tekken. I like Soul Calibur. And I think this in 3D would be much cooler. But there's something to be said for the 2D style in terms of like your Guilty Gears, your BlazBlues, well-made 2D fighters.
Well, even the Street Fighter series and stuff. I mean, they have 3D graphics.
I said well-made.
Street Fighter 5 had a less than stellar launch. It's true. Mortal Kombat, then, I should say.
I was just talking about the fact that I hate Street Fighter.
I know you do, pal.
I don't even hate it. It's just a good meme. My first one is Doctor Strange, which is a 2D fighter. I'm fine with him playing just like he's been played before because he was in Marvel vs. Capcom, right?
Marvel vs. Capcom 3, yeah.
Yep, I'm fine with that. You play him exactly that. That's good. He was fine in a 3D fighter. I mean,
needs more teleports.
Needs more teleports. Needs more like giant spinning mandalas. Because I'd go with a more movie adaptation of Strange because one, it would be very in the moment, and it would people would get it. And two, like it'd be really fun looking to have the big spinning mandalas and to have him turn the fucking stage upside down at one point or something.
Oh, that would be sick! Like for an ultimate combo or finisher,
you just have him,
or whatever.
Have him like Inception the whole fucking stage around, so you can't get away from him.
That'd be pretty BA. The second one I have here is Swamp Thing, who is going to be in Injustice 2, but goddamn, I love me some Swamp Thing. I have no idea how he's going to play. I haven't even seen his trailer. I'm just aware he's going to be in it. Good.
Yeah. I mean, he might be broke, because Swamp Thing's broke.
There's a million awesome things you could do with Swamp Thing, so...
I mean, he'll probably just be a big, slow tank, but...
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
My second is Mr. Fantastic. I mean, come on, fucking Dulcie. I mean...
Yeah, this is just a perfect place to start. Plastic Man would be a good Mr. Fantastic skin.
Yeah! And Elongated Man.
Yeah, and Elongated Man. What was the third guy?
The one who's flat? I forget.
Oh, no, Flat Man. I suppose you could do... Yeah, it's very different, though.
But, Elongated Man and Plastic Man.
Yeah.
Because Elongated Man is so fucking boring.
You might as well get some mileage out of Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, I like it.
I had my next one is Violator for another Spawn series character, and I was just thinking about the monster form of Violator, But good God, how interesting would it be if you, like, started out as Clown and had to, like, fill a little meter until you could, like, fucking...
Like, you started out as a comedy character, and
no, you started... Yeah, he's, like, just throws banana peels and is, like, smokes a cigar and beats a little shit. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but then once you get your meter full...
You go from Wario to the Balrog?
Basically, yeah. That'd be pretty sick. I'd be down for that.
I wouldn't hate it, to be fair.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate that at all. My third one is the Human Torch, because, like, Cinder from, what's that fucking...
Killer Instinct?
Killer Instinct.
Hell yeah, dude.
I mean, that's just the Human Torch.
Right. I have Deckstar.
That's the cat, right?
Yeah, that's the Red Lantern cat. Who's fucking awesome. He's one of my favorite DC
See, I feel like that
characters.
would lead to Yoda frustration.
But that's exactly what it would lead to. I think that's exactly what he should be. Except not as OP as Yoda. Like, hard to hit, but does not do a lot of damage.
And maybe, like, is grabbable.
Sure, definitely. That was
maybe, like, give everyone the same grapple with Deckstar. That way it's Deckstar's grapple.
Sure, that's fine. Just pick the cat up and slam him in the ground. I mean, fuck.
Throw it. And also, like, I don't know. I like Deckstar, but I don't know. Watching, like, Swamp Thing or watching the Violator fucking pick up a tiny kitten and fuck it up.
Yeah, but, well, Violator so would. But, like...
I mean, yeah.
His attacks, though, like, Deckstar would go fucking feral on your ass and you lose all mercy for him.
That's true. It'd be, fuck off, you little asshole! My fourth one is, I mean, amusingly, the Invisible Woman. That is Sue Storm, Sue Richards, Sue whatever it is this week.
Sue, I made the pee-pee into water.
It's probably a hyphenate at this point. I really, really like the Fantastic Four, as we've covered before.
Sure.
Despite the fact they've never, and probably will never, get a decent film adaptation. But
that TV series pilot, though. Better than Wonder Woman.
But, like, I would like her especially in a Namco fighter, because one, she does force fields, and that's cool.
Yeah.
And two, I'd like it if she could go invisible. And, like, but if she tried to attack you, you got, like, Predator air ripples so you could dodge.
Sure.
But if she was fucking evading you, she's invisible. Which is hilarious in a fighter, because that means, as anyone who's played a fighter who can go invisible, because there are a couple, will tell you, you don't know where you are either.
I think it would be interesting if they had, like, a mechanic set up around it where invisibility is really easy for her to access. Because you've got a lot of fighters like Chameleon and Reptile and Predator and so on who can go invisible, but having someone who that's, like, their primary thing might be a really interesting standpoint to create a fighting game character from.
And, like, if... Like...
Plus, it saves on animation.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Maybe as, like, a fighting game conceit, you could have her have an outline so that you could know where your character is, but while she's invisible, you can't hit her.
Maybe. Maybe, you know, just have her be kind of, like, warbly.
Yeah, so that you can't... Or, like, yeah, have her be... like Warbly and Ripley, that way you can fight her, but you can't see exactly what she's doing, so that she can fuck you up in, like, Reach games. And
sure, well, and especially in, like, actual professional fighting game shit.
Not being able to see the exact motion the character's making would be impossible to fuck. It would be hard to fight.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, that's really interesting, actually.
What you got?
I have Atrocitus, who again is going to be in Injustice 2, so go on you there. Please continue on with your Fantastic Four train here.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, this one's a classic. We want Doom.
Yeah, Doom.
We want Doom. And Doom, if it's a 2D fighter, can play just like Doom.
Yeah.
Doom is fine. Doom is good. Doom is Doom.
I have Man-Bat. Because I like Man-Bat.
I mean, yeah, he's a nice enough dude, I guess.
But I think, like, what's his name? Firebrand in Marvel vs. Capcom, who is a Capcom character. I think he could do a lot of stuff like that. And I think it'd be cool if he had a lot of throws where he just kind of, like, picked you up and, like, dropped your ass.
Yeah, like Firebrand. Yeah,
it'd be fun.
I have
finished the list, my man.
Like, I'm mad on this one because I mean, he'd be fine, but like for a fighting game, a little boring. The Thing, though, to round out the list, you know,
If you're going to have one, you might as well have them all.
I like the ever-loving Thing, but at the same time, in a fighting game, it might be kind of boring.
I mean, that's where you really focus on his fighting style, I think.
Yeah,
give
with
him really good moves.
with the big swingy, clubbery fists, or clobbery, I should say.
Yeah, there you go. My next one is Carnage.
I see him playing a lot like Shumagorath, actually.
Well, like anything like that. I have a couple of guys on my list that are kind of like, shape-shifty, so that you can really go wild with the shit. And honestly, he would play a lot more like Spawn from Soul Calibur 2 because of the axe fetish he has.
And like it would morph, you could like morph different weapons for different attacks.
Yeah, it'd just be fun. I think he'd be like a really frenetic fighter. Really fun to play.
Yep. I have this one on here entirely. I like the characters; they're cool, but I have it entirely because I think it'd be a really cool fighting game mechanic, and that's Cloak and Dagger.
If you hadn't said it, I would have.
Because they're fucking cool, one, and two, you could play most of the time as Dagger, and Cloak would be an excellent he's your teleport spam. He's your thing that blocks attacks. You could switch out to him, and he has a much more strong tanky style. But Dagger's the one you want to switch to if you want to do any real damage.
Or you could do certain moves, and he appears behind somebody, and if they don't move in the right frame amount, he grabs them and does a cool
he'll
thing.
Meta Knight with them and just fucking teleport away. It's a really cool because they're Cloak and Dagger. But you'd end up fighting mostly as Dagger.
Sure.
And Cloak would be the special moves.
Yeah. I like it. I love Cloak and Dagger. I think that's a great idea. The next person on my list, I don't really have a lot of ideas for, but ever since I saw him teased in Injustice 2, I don't know if he's an actual fighter or just part of a cutscene, but he should be.
But you want him to be a fighter?
I want him to be. Black Manta. Because Black Manta's the shit.
Black Manta is the shit. Black Manta is the best Aquaman villain.
He is the best Aquaman. He's got that cool-ass helmet.
Fuck Ocean Master.
Never goes out of style. Fuck.
I'm so mad because Ocean Master, they said, this scuttlebutt is Ocean Master is going to be the villain of the Aquaman movie.
Yeah.
I want a Black Manta.
I always want Black Manta. I never don't want Black Manta.
I don't want Black Manta when I'm at the beach.
Fair. This is why I don't go to the beach.
Yeah.
Black Manta might be there. It's conceivable.
My next one is honestly, and this is one substitute the one I totally forgot, but my next one's honestly better suited as just a skin with some different voice lines, and that's Old Man Logan. With Logan, the new Wolverine movie coming out, and with that being very relevant, with Old Man Logan being the actual active Logan in the 616 universe.
Sure.
Because standard out Wolverine's dead at the moment. At the moment.
Fucking comic books, man.
But I think it'd be very relevant. I think it'd be very cool. And he'd be an excellent alternate skin. Or maybe have him be the base skin and have regular Wolverine be the alternate skin. And that'd be cool, too.
Yeah, I like it.
With just some different voice lines. And maybe if you wanted to make him a different character, because you could make it so that, like the Old Man Logan story, he almost never uses his claws. He just has a much more brawly fighting style.
That would be interesting.
And then the claws are for big special moves, or for your extras or your fucking Z moves or whatever they call them.
I would personally like to add Larfleeze, because I'm sorry, I don't give a shit about Sinestro. I don't. I have always been more about the red and orange rings. I think they're way more interesting as villains. And fucking Larfleeze, again, like Swamp Thing, I don't care what you do with him. It will be fun. And I love the idea of Larfleeze versus Larfleeze.
Just enable mirror matches. That
yeah,
way.
and he's
and have them have a special voice line. With
definitely, yeah. You can't be me, only I am me.
And then the other one says, "Imposter, it's me."
Only I can have the power. It'd be fucking great.
And a special victory animation where they take the other one's ring.
Yes.
I actually, Spork highlighted the thing because he thought I skipped it on accident. I skipped the one on purpose because I wanted to go over it now. Because I want to make sure that it's highlighted that I want this character to be different than the one I just talked about. I want X-23. I probably have mentioned this a million times on the podcast. I don't keep track. I really fucking like Laura Kinney as a character. I like her backstory. I like a lot of her characterization. Not all of it, of course, because it's comics. But I like a lot of her characterization. I like a lot of her backstory. I like the way they deal with trauma in her backstory. I like her. And I love that her origin is from a fucking cartoon, much like Harley Quinn. Mm-hmm. And that's really great. I want her to fight differently than Logan, though, because X-23 is much more nimble.
Yeah, well...
In most things she's in, because she's been in video games before, I believe.
She was in Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
She fights really similarly to Logan.
Yes, she does.
And that's not what you... I want her to be much more nimble, much more flippy, because she is. She's a lot more nimble than Logan.
Kickier as well, because she has the foot
She has
claws.
the foot claws, yeah. But there was... Remind me about... Yeah, I want to remember the one I forgot. Go ahead.
Okay. My next one is somebody else I also like for stupid fucking reasons, as the Boy just listed, like, character and story position and development. And that's Squirrel Girl. And also because those fucking moves.
She just summoned squirrels, right?
Oh, man, just an army of fucking squirrels. And she's also, she's got skills,
And, have Doctor Doom get a special thing when he loses the Squirrel Girl.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just not again.
Not again.
Thanos.
It would be the shit. It would be the shit. She would be fun. Just...
A fun joke character, I think.
Yeah, but not like a joke character like Dan Hibiki. Like a proper character, but just... This is clearly the one we put in for funsies. Like Phoenix Wright, who...
And one of the ones who would end up being, top S rank in the meta.
Yeah. Once you figure her out, you're a god.
This is... the next one is one that I feel should be in all fighting games, and his moveset should never be changed from the last time I played it. It should always be the exact same moves, because, oh my god, he was the best. And that's Aquaman. Aquaman in Injustice Gods Among Us is so good. He's so good. He's so broken and amazing, and I love him, and I kill people with sharks.
I hate Aquaman because I don't play Aquaman.
He mad because he bad.
I'm a hater.
he a hater.
Except that one time, our last fighting game tournament, I believe, when I killed your ass as Lobo, and you were playing Aquaman.
And the magic had gone out of it, or
And,
you'd finally...
Well, you and I were just, even after it happened, sitting there oh.
A god can bleed.
How did that go? How did that happen? Next up on my list is Doorman, who is kind of a more obscure Marvel character. He was part of
Fucking Doorman.
He was part of the Great Lakes Adventures with Squirrel Girl and Flatman and Mr.
Immortal.
Mr. Immortal, yeah. But then he became Death.
Because death is a door.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's metaphors and shit in there, but I think there's a lot you can do because Doorman is similar.
Is that the third death in that universe?
I think he took over for her.
Oh, Deadpool must be mad.
I'm not sure exactly what happened
Does
there.
that mean does Thanos still have a crush on him? Does he have to be with Thanos?
Don't know.
Stalker in the Thanos friend zone?
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I comics, man. It's been a while since I've looked into him.
Hey, same.
But there's a lot of cool stuff.
Thor's a lady now.
Similar to some shit that you mentioned, a character you mentioned later, and I'll let you talk about that then. But I mean, the dude's hollow. You go through him.
He's a door.
He's a door. So there's so many really cool things you could do with that, and visually, I think you can have a lot of fun with them too.
Maybe have a move where he turns into a door, and if you punch and he's a door, you fall through.
Yeah, or yeah, one of those trap moves where he just stands there ready for you to punch, and you hit him, and then he swings up into the air, and you fall out of him the other direction, and then he stomps on you.
And it moves your character, which will help differentiate it from the thing later on my list.
Yeah.
Is it moves your character around? It basically teleports you around the map.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun, dude.
The one I have next is also a joke character, and this is the one I will mention the joke character and then insert the one I forgot, because the one I forgot I'm much more fond of. That's... My brain is not working. Hold on. A Matter Eater lad, who is from an old Legion of Superheroes. he could eat anything. I originally put him on there just for the lo, I swallow your Hadoken, lo. I fired back at Kirby. Kirby, essentially.
Yeah, basically.
But no, that was mostly a joke. I think Terry McGinnis would be great.
Oh, okay. He was a skin.
Yeah. I would think him as his own character. Again, playing differently than Batman. Because here's a fun fact. In every fighting game I've ever played that had Batman in it, there's been, aside from Injustice, I think there's been a couple others. Mm-hmm. I've never liked Batman in any of them.
Oh, no, I hate how they do Batman.
I always hate Batman. I always hate how they do Batman in fighting games. I always do. But I think Terry, they'd be able to differentiate him enough that he could play very interestingly. Especially if you integrated some of the shit that his fucking mecha future suit can do, like fly, and have rocket boots that he could use to burn you. And
yeah, there's some cool shit you can do there.
he can also turn invisible.
Speaking of Batman reskins, I have Moon Knight. Because I fucking love Moon Knight. But let's be honest, he's just white Batman with nunchucks. So...
he's also crazy.
I mean, he'd need his own voice lines, don't get me wrong.
Because he's crazy.
Yeah, he's great. But, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do there, just cool-ass moves. Him whipping out all kinds of different weapons. He feels like a better version of...
and you know what? Him playing like they make Batman in fighting games would feel more honest.
It would.
Because Batman in fighting games uses a lot of fucking gadgets, and I respect that. But Batman is also one of the best fighters in that universe in terms of pure hand-to-hand, and especially in the Injustice games, where the conceit is that he's been given a superhero upgrade so that he can actually withstand a punch from Superman without immediately dying. That's a conceit of that setting. So the fact that he's still using a bunch of gadgets when he can go toe-to-toe with Clark, and if you can go toe-to-toe with Clark, Bruce should win that fight every time, no contest, because, I'm sorry, but one of those two people is fucking Batman, and the only reason Superman would win a fight is because Superman can lift planets. But I think Terry would be an excellent departure. I think he could be, a lot more physical.
Sure.
Moon Knight would be a great reskin, though, for how they do him.
Oh, yeah, sure.
For how they do him in stuff.
Yeah. Well, that takes it over to you, my friend.
Yeah. This one is one I want in there for purely because he's awesome, and because last time we did this, we asked for him, and it went really well.
Maybe he is blessed.
So if the Panther God wishes to bless us again, I want Black Panther. He might be boring, but he also could be really cool, depending on how they do.
I think he'd be at least as cool as Catwoman.
Yeah, probably cooler, to be honest.
Probably, but it depends. I suppose it depends on how cool you think whips and sexy slinking are.
Not terribly.
Yeah, whips are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the next person on my list is a little less known. That is Savage Dragon from Image Comics, who is a cop who is green with a fro head, and he beats ass. He's an ass beater.
So he's an Image Comics character.
He sure as fuck. He's actually one of the better ones, though.
He even had an Image Comics character.
He even had a cartoon in the late '90s, around the time when the Mortal Kombat cartoon was out. It was not half bad.
Nice.
Yeah, but I like Savage Dragon. I would love to see him get some play, and he's cool.
I want Ant-Man.
Yeah, like that Squirrel Girl. You know what I mean?
With actual size changing shit.
Too.
I don't he could do some summoning. I want Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl I think would be the better pure summoner.
Sure.
Ant-Man, I want him to actually do like attacks where he, instead of just punching, he turns tiny and comes and punches you. So that if you block, you bat him away and it damages him. It's like a high risk, high reward sort of thing.
I think he could also have stuff like I've forgotten the name off the top of my head. The Arakune from BlazBlue. Where you can tag them with an ant, like a red hot that's biting them, so they take damage over time until they hit you.
Yeah,
it's cool shit like that.
So you have a incentive to turn tiny and leap away.
Yeah.
That brings it back to you, Fred.
That does bring it back to me. My next character, I can't believe I didn't list first, which is Azrael from DC.
We're up to 3 Batmans.
Yeah, three.
And a Moon Knight.
Well, but this Batman. This Batman would have the cool shit.
To be fair, if you think about Azrael in the Arkham games, he looks real fucking cool.
Oh my god, he does. The only reason I would be frothing at the mouth to go back to an Arkham game at this point is if they made it.
Well, you can play him in. There's some playable Azrael segments.
Yeah, a couple where he's doing some stuff.
But Azrael would be awesome. And then you have a Nightfall Batman skin.
Hell yes.
And then you could have the Batman fighting tournament.
Well, and I think he would have to be separate from Batman. Because I think
I think Nightfall Batman is
it's the difference between Iron Man and War Machine. Yes, they're similar. Yes, they would kind of look similar, but they're very different.
Yeah, definitely.
To you, my dude.
This guy is, I think he'd be a good solid, just your solid fighting game fucking character. Luke Cage would fit into almost any fighting game on the planet.
Basically.
He's a guy with bulletproof skin who punches motherfuckers and can probably lift a car.
Yeah, hell yeah. Throw cars at a guy. Who cares?
He can bend the steel. At least that.
My next one's kind of a weird one in that I've never seen this show. I've just seen like screen caps and gifs and shit of it on the internet. But the Penguin interpretation from Gotham.
Like the show?
Yeah.
I have no idea who that is.
He's like weirdly sexy and really intense.
So he's like the Penguin from the Telltale Batman game?
Kind of, yeah. But like, I dig it. I think he's kind of like, rather I think of him as kind of like an alternate Joker. That's more business and less goofy.
Is that the one played by that kid from Shameless?
No. That guy wasn't actually the Joker, as I understand it. I don't know. I don't know.
I thought that may have been the Penguin. I genuinely
No.
I know nothing about Gotham,
I
nor will I.
Everything I've picked up, I've learned from the back of Sugar Packet.
Same.
So, but I think it's a really interesting, both the Telltale one and the Gotham Penguin, I think they're really interesting concepts. I think it's a really interesting take on the character.
Oswald as... skinny, sexy, smoldery guy instead of, hey, I'm Oswald Cobblepot.
Well, and there's also a difference of intensity, because I suppose you could also argue the Arkham series Penguin.
He's a very intense guy. He's just also
really
dumpy.
Yeah, well, he's dumpy. He doesn't fight. This guy looks like he could handle himself in a fight without umbrella gadgets,
Yeah, we don't need no umbrella gadgets.
No, I like the Penguin, but no. Don't be joke Penguin. Be legit Penguin.
This one, I think... This one and the one below it are very similar characters.
Well, you feel free to list them both, because I realize that later in this thing, I'm going to list like 4 at once, so...
That's fair. It'll get us off our rhythm a little bit, but...
who cares?
Zatanna is one, because I think it'd be really cool to have her... like, with most fighting games, like, say this is a Street Fighter style fighting game, there's common button inputs. Mm-hmm. It'd be great if all of Zatanna's button inputs were backwards from the usual way.
Yeah, I thought that she was underutilized in Injustice. Aside from being voiced by Jennifer Hale, she doesn't do much for me. I like Zatanna.
The next one is a really great character who I think would be cool, and he's very different from the character I kind of want to... I want to make him Dr. Fate from DC. I kind of want to make him a Doctor Strange skin because they're similar, but he's different enough that he also would. It'd be really, really easy to just make him his own character, with like focusing a lot more on wards and blocking, and whereas Doctor Strange would be more about like teleport spam and laser beams.
So he could be like a really high quality Invisible Woman skin, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of skins, if I may add another Batman, I don't remember if he was in Injustice or not, but the Batman of Zura-Na, please keep
I want that skin. I think that was a skin in one of the Arkham games.
I think it was in one of the Arkham games. I can't remember if it was in Injustice, but yeah.
Always, every Batman game, Batman of Zura-Na skin, please.
I would like to have the Iron Patriot, and I don't mean War Machine in America colors. I mean Storm and Norman. with stolen Iron Man tech.
Maybe a pumpkin bomb thrown in every now and again.
Old habits die hard.
Oh shit! You have him say that when he uses pumpkin bat.
Yeah.
Like one thing, he like jumps away and like leaves like a pumpkin bomb where he was, and then it blows up and he goes, "Ha! Old habits die hard."
Like it's one of those things where there's a percentage chance every time you use a certain move
that
that's the graphic instead.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be great. I am at... Yeah, this one, I want this one entirely. One, because, it's an interesting idea. And two, I want a Mazo. What I want a Mazo to be able to do in a fighting game is I want him to, one, have his own simple moveset. Like, of just, your classic moves. Like, so a few moves from other characters.
Like a Shoto clone kind of thing?
Like a very Shoto clone, just his very simple, basic fighting game moveset. Mm-hmm. And then... have him have like a couple special moves stolen from other highlight characters throughout the game, but have him be much smaller, because then you can have him be sort of like the Edge Master. I almost said the Edgelord. The Edgelord. He can have him be the Edge Master, but he has his own moves as well. Have him have his own basic moves, but then his special moves are whoever he's fighting.
There was a character in Street Fighter, and actually, I might talk about this on the channel eventually, but in Street Fighter 3, there was a character named 13, I want to say. Could have been 9. It's some number. Fuck me. 12. I don't know. Who, as like a special super combo move, could turn into his opponent.
That's awesome.
Kind of like Shang Tsung, but he also has his own moveset.
Exactly. I want Meizo to have his own moves, but maybe have his own moves, but if you like fill up a meter, you can also use the moves from your opponent.
Yeah. You can like execute a thing and you get their moves or something.
Oh yeah, you can have him like have a little meter as the fight goes on, like over time, or every time he hits or gets hit, it fills faster. And then when it fills, he's like, scan complete, and then he gets all their special moves too. It'd be hard to play because you would need to know basically every other character's special moves to be any good with him, but it'd also be fucking really frustrating to deal with.
Well, and I know, I mean, I don't usually do this shit, but like I know in Soul Calibur, whatever the last one was, 6?
Something like that.
I actually played using Edgemaster, Keelik, a lot. And, I learned a lot of the characters' moves that way, sure, and sometimes I'd pull someone I was bad at, but
So did I.
It was really refreshing.
In the same way
and
that
interesting.
at a certain point in the Soul Calibur game, I just start hitting random.
Fuck it, who am I playing today? But for the folks watching at home, who is Meizo? Because I'm not even sure.
A Meizo is a learning android built by... It varies. He's a DC character. It's usually this one doctor whose name I can't remember. But he is able to absorb the superpowers of any being he can read, any being he can scan.
Wasn't he in that one episode of that Justice League cartoon?
He was in an episode of the original Justice League where he gets all the League's powers, turns gold, and then flies off to space like Dr. Manhattan.
Right.
And then in Justice League Unlimited, because Lex Luthor fucked him over and killed his mentor...
I saw that.
He comes back to fuck Lex Luthor up. And the Justice League cannot defeat him because he's been traveling around Dr. Manhattaning and he has absorbed enough power to be essentially a god. And eventually they bring in Dr. Fate, the magic character, who, putting down Dr. Fate reminded me of a Meizo, that's why they're right after each other.
Right.
And Dr. Fate convinces him not to murder the whole world and maybe just come hang out with Dr. Fate because you have some anger management issues you need to work out.
I am a doctor after all. My next character is kind of cut and dry, Nightcrawler.
Yeah, teleport spam.
Yeah,
teleport spam.
And a little bit of stealth shit, maybe a little bit of like activated invisibility.
Cool sword moves.
Well, see, I'm not so much fond of this sword Nightcrawler.
He has a sword. He has a sword.
Give me a stance switch. Give me a thing an input I can execute.
Where he does kicks instead?
Where he starts out with his kicks, and then you can like do a button command and...
Maybe like the sword one does more damage, but there are fewer teleports in it.
Maybe, I don't know, whatever. Just make him...
Because that way it's a nice trade-off. Like, if you want... The sword one does more damage, but the other one's faster and has more teleports.
Yeah. Or the sword has more reach.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Inherently.
There's ideas there.
Well, Nightcrawler doesn't really have a reach problem.
No, he doesn't. Good God, his legs.
Well, also, like, you can't keep him away. He's
gonna
close
He's
on
gonna get you.
This one is one I want entirely because... Look, it's a long, convoluted story. Let's just say I really want to be able to play a fighting game character with Merrymaker in it.
It was everything I could do not to put Professor Pig on my list. But...
Just so that I can play that character in a fighting game. And I don't mean Merrymaker, but... but I want Merrymaker in a fighting game. Let's just say his look is amazing.
I like the character, too. I
like the character also... But that is not why he is on my list.
Sure. I think there's a lot of characters in that run, Professor Pig included, that really are undervalued in terms, in favor of the classic villains.
I think so
when they're still really strong characters.
And I think there's a bunch of villains, there's a bunch of secondary Batman villains who are undervalued in the larger pop culture narrative because they'd be shitty villains for anyone but Batman.
Right.
But then again, everyone has something like that. I fucking hate Hush. Always have.
I never really cared about Hush.
But moving on.
My next one's basically just a Spider-Man skin. It's Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, Spider-Gwen. Skin, change the dimensions a little bit, and then maybe give her some voice lines, and Spider-Gwen is great. And I literally would never play regular Spider-Man
Fuck
again.
me either. Unless we could play the Superior Spider-Man.
That might be working. So many good Spider-Man skins. You have regular Peter Parker. You have the Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah, got to do the black suit for classic.
Oh yeah, you got to do the black suit. Of course, you got Spider-Gwen. You have
could do Miles Morales.
Miles would be fun. Like, a part of me would want Miles to be a separate character.
Yeah, because he's got his own powers.
He's got his own powers. He has, like, electricity powers and shit like that. But he could do well as just a skin. That'd be fine.
You could make a fucking... I can't remember his name off the top of my head. The clone one. Ben something.
Oh, Ben Reilly.
Yeah. You could do a skin that's that, and it's literally not different. Just to fuck with people.
Like...
They're like, I don't...
Just some Clone Saga bullshit?
Yeah, and then they're like, I think there's like some pixels different if you look really close on the mesh.
Ben had that one outfit with the weird blue t-shirt.
And you can do that too. I don't give a shit, but...
I don't know. Like, yeah, but at the same time, I would really enjoy it if the Ben one had, like, a special move, a finisher, which this would never happen. Because, look, they're not going to make this Mortal Kombat, where, like, a finisher that you could use, and instead of, you know, the Spider-Man finisher where he, like, webs them up and hangs them upside down, Ben just mark of Cane's their ass. Ben doesn't fuck around, okay?
No, he does not.
Mine is red. My next one is Red Tornado, which, to be fair, there's like 9 dudes who make tornadoes in fighting games. Any of their movesets would be fine.
Sure.
He's just a really cool character, and he has a really cool look, and he gets really underutilized in a lot of shit.
I would agree. My next one's Agent Venom, who I didn't even know about until fucking Marvel Heroes.
That's Flash, right?
Yeah, Flash Thompson in the Venom symbiote. Who, like, okay, yeah, I've already got Carnage on this list, and spoiler alert, I've got a couple of Venoms later, but,
A couple of Venoms.
Shit, man, I don't fuck around. Look, I like this character, okay?
Could they be skins?
Well, Agent Venom can, because he's a soldier.
So, like, he has guns and shit.
He's, like, there's a move he does in Marvel Heroes where he, like, pulls pins on, like, all of the grenades on his vest and uses the symbiote to just sort of chuck them at you. It's so good. He uses his symbiote to fire a bunch of guns at once. The dude is so cool, conceptually. Whoever thought of this? Money.
Like, I kind of want to see... I want
you.
to see, like, a big splash sequence of him fucking shit up in a comic, and then just it cuts to Peter just fucking standing on a nearby lamppost, and just like, when the fuck did Flash get cool again? My next one is Toad. To be fair, he could be like a Spider-Man reskin for all him. But, like, I like his acid, his, like, sticky spit and...
Like the Ultimate Toad.
Yeah, specifically Ultimate Toad.
Yeah. Because original
if
Toad...
If I'm ever talking about Toad, listener, I'm always talking about Ultimate Toad.
Or the guy from the cartoon.
Or the guy from the cartoon. A guy from X-Men Evolution would be fine, but, like, I'm almost always talking about Ultimate Toad.
Yeah.
Because Ultimate Toad is the shit. He's great.
He stands around looking like Slash, smoking cigarettes, and being a jerk.
Yep. Who you at?
Fuck, where?
You're
Got ahead of myself. I stole this one from you.
It's not theft. It's not theft. It's good ideas.
Granny Goodness.
Yes.
Because I love Granny Goodness.
Maybe have her Fury show up for special moves.
Hell yeah, dude. Kind of like Rocket was in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
That would be so cool. I don't know why I love Granny Goodness so much. It brings me no end of delight.
You love Granny Goodness so much because Granny Goodness is a great fucking character concept.
Just genius.
My next one is The Spot, Johnny Owen, Dr. Jonathan Owen. And he's on here because I think he'd be an amazingly interesting fighting game character.
This is who I was talking about we would see later when I was talking about Doorman.
Yeah, because I like the idea of Doorman moving the character because Johnny wouldn't.
No.
Like, The Spot is... I'd like for it to start with, like, him, every attack you make at the start of the thing to Jonathan. I would like for it to start with him, like, he has, like, a 60% chance just not to hit him. Like, he just goes through one of his spots and gets randomly redirected to somewhere else. Like, out his back, out of the top of his head, or right back at you. Or maybe like out a leg, or just randomly redirected. Your attack gets shot out, like your fist will go into his chest, and this would be hard as fuck to code, but I don't care.
Oh, it'd be awful.
But like we're spitballing.
Yeah, this is just
like you punch, and the punch damage comes like out his back, or like your fist will come back out of his face and punch you in the face, but it's random. He doesn't have any control of it. Then he can use spots to, but like he isn't very mobile by himself and does like chip damage. But So, like, it's a 60% chance, but if you know what you're doing, and if you, watch for the recoil damage in case it comes back out at you, you're probably going to beat him, unless he starts using spots. Because he can throw spots out to, like, teleport around, or, like, and he can throw spots out to, like, he shoots out a spot, or, like, he punches forward, and his fist goes into one of the spots and comes out and hits you in the back of the head. And those are the attacks that do good damage, but every time he uses one, that spot stays in the air for a second and isn't active, which lowers the percent chance of of you attacking him getting redirected.
Oh, I like that a lot, dude. That's some thought into that shit.
That way, like, if he wants to attack you, he has to make himself more vulnerable. But if he just stands there like a walking wall, who's almost impossible to damage reliably, he's probably going to lose.
Yeah.
So it's about balance. Or he could just all-out attack and, like, teleport spam you in the back of the head with punches. But again, the spots regen, but maybe like they don't take time to regen, but he has to, like, do a move to, like, pull them all back in, and he's, like, vulnerable during it.
Makes sense.
That way he has to, like, make a distance to pull them all back in.
I like it. The last couple of guys you've talked about, the Spot and Amazo specifically, reminded me of characters that I meant to add to my list but forgot. And so, for the benefit of both of us, I'm going to mention them now.
Yeah.
Rorschach and Night Owl.
Ha!
I mean, they'd be dirt simple.
Yeah, because they're fucking simple dudes.
Yeah, but, like, how fun would it be to have them there?
Can Night Owl just be a Batman skin?
I was about to say, fucking DC owns that shit.
Oh, dude, no, they're... did you not... Okay, DC Rebirth. They're integrating the Charleston comics. They're integrating the Watchmen characters in.
Oh, wow. But I'm saying, though, why the fuck aren't they in Injustice?
Well, probably because they, they want to see how it goes in the comics first.
Maybe. That'd be so fucking... Even as a guest character, you know what I mean? They put fucking Scorpion in last time.
When they did DC Rebirth, and during a part of it, Batman got into the chair that gives you infinite knowledge.
Sure.
So he learned...
I have that chair.
Yeah, he learned what the Joker's name was.
The one in front of my computer.
And he finds out that there are multiple Jokers because the universe has been splitting, and DC Rebirth is them getting rid of the New 52 and going back to, like, a combination of the New 52 and the old universe. And in doing that, they're also integrating the Watchmen characters, because at one point Batman's like, no, this isn't right. Someone's been watching us. And it cuts to the Watchmen button.
That's cool. Speaking of which...
That was a while ago. I don't know what's happened since then.
Another Batman skin, Owlman.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That goes without saying.
God, I love him. Also...
James Woods is amazing.
Is there other... I'm sorry, listener, Ultimo, if you can be with me for a moment. Are they integrating other Charleston characters? Other properties?
I think they integrated a lot of them years ago.
Oh, I am so
That's
curious.
what the Blue Beetle was.
Well, yeah, I know.
That's where fucking Night Owl comes from.
Yeah,
I call them the Charleston characters because the Watchmen characters are based on Charleston characters. Like, Rorschach was the Question, Night Owl's the Blue Beetle. But, like, they're integrating the proper Watchmen characters now. Also.
Okay, so, but I wonder if they're going to do, like, bigger stuff with some of the other Charleston characters.
Well,
because Blue Beetle's gotten bigger in the last few years, so seeing more of the Question would be awesome.
Shit! I fucking forgot about Jaime!
Well, he's in the next game.
Good! Yes!
So,
Jaime Reyes. Fucking Blue Beetle 3. I fucking love that character.
I know you do, buddy.
All Spider-Men are good. Batman, Spider-Man, Blue Spider-Man, all Spider-Men are good.
Alright, well that was a departure. Mine's kind of short because, like, Boy came up with 1 million, and I was like, all right, okay, I got like 15.
They just all came to me.
Yeah, and that's fair. And you talked about a lot that I also would love to see, like Cloak and Dagger. But Shumagorath is one of my favorite characters in Marvel vs. Capcom.
He's just a classic, you know?
I'd love to have him. You don't need to touch him.
Nope.
He's fine.
Shumagorath. As promised. Doc Ock. Like, I'm pretty sure he's been in other games before. He's fine, as is.
I don't think he has, actually.
Really?
Yeah, that seems like a missed opportunity.
It does.
Especially they had Omega Red in fucking Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
I mean, yeah, he fucking uses tentacles. It has, good reach, but if you get in close, it takes a lot of damage. There, Doc Ock.
Yeah. I have Venom. And again, Venom can play...
As Venom.
I mean, I'd like him to do some different shit, just for variety's sake.
Same.
But, I loved him in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, so whatever.
Kamala Khan the new Ms. Marvel. I want her to not play like Mr. Fantastic because she also has like shape-shifty powers and like she can get bigger and change the sizes of her hands and shit.
I think she should play more like Rash from Killer Instinct, the Battletoad.
Yeah, where she like makes a giant fist and hits you with it.
Yeah, that shit would be cool.
Yeah, and she could have a bunch of cool skins.
Yeah.
Just like different, because she wears a couple different outfits.
Yeah. I dig it, dude. That's a good character.
Yeah. I actually really like her.
Another MVC2 character, Sabretooth. I love Sabretooth.
You just like him in everything.
I do.
Except for that one time Liev Schreiber played him.
I did hate that Sabretooth. You are correct. I wrote him twice, it seems.
Sabretooth. Sabretooth.
Just give me Sabretooth, you assholes.
This is secret boss character. The bonus boss who's harder than all the other bosses. You have to unlock. Dupe.
I think you could play like MODOK. I think he could just like kind of float around and all his attacks are really esoteric.
Yeah. I'd hate to play him, but I want him in there.
Yeah, I love Dupe.
You know what? I love him because of Marvel Heroes.
I love Dupe. 110%.
I know. I don't really.
I like the Ecstatics. I thought that was a fucking hilarious side thing with a lot of really unique characters. My next one is Gambit, who I thought was a weird omission from Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah, same.
I loved him in 2. He was one of my best characters.
Also, he's just a good fighting game character.
Yeah, dude.
He's got a fucking solid Hadouken. He's got a good fighting moveset. He's got a staff, which gives him a good gimmick. He's got a good look.
He's cool as hell.
He's just a good fighting game character.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't bring him in.
I got Shocker because there'll always be a special place in my heart for Herman. Like, he'd have a lot of beam attacks, and maybe like deceptively strong attacks.
Sure.
But be kind of a glass cannon because let's face it, he's the Shocker.
Yeah.
But like, there'll always be a special place in my heart for you, Herman. I want good things for you, my man.
Go ahead and roll right into your next one because second Sabretooth doesn't bear mentioning.
Tombstone. I think he'd just be a good tank.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
He's just fucking hard. He's just a hard man who doesn't fuck around and like can take a boatload of damage.
Like a decent Power Man skin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shit. Like, on the one hand, maybe not a good skin for Luke Cage.
Well,
but on the other hand, yeah, like moveset wise, exactly the same.
Yeah, sure.
Tombstone would be a good skin for Luke Cage.
The next one I have, I'm kind of surprised he hasn't been in any Marvel vs. Capcom game, and that's Daredevil.
You would think, right? But his superpower is seeing.
Well, but like he's like a ninja.
Yeah, and they have lots of ninjas.
Urban ninja. Well, I suppose Capcom has a lot of ninjas.
Yeah,
that's fair. But I don't know. I'm not even a huge Daredevil fan, and I feel like
it seems like a missed opportunity.
Yeah, he's fucking Daredevil.
At this point, you're like, guys, why? I got like 9 dudes. Why aren't they in here? This guy, this guy, this guy.
You gave me Iron Fist in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but you skipped over Daredevil?
That is weird.
That is really weird.
That is weird. My next one is She-Hulk, because, I mean, She-Hulk's good.
Was she in 2 or was she in 3?
I forget, but she was good in whichever one she was in. And, like, I want She-Hulk. She's fun. She's a lawyer. That's cool.
You can get lawyered.
We could have her fight Ace Attorney.
Yeah. So I'm just listing the next 4 all together, like I said I would. And they had their own fighting game to be absolutely fair, but if we're slamming all these comics together, I want Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael.
Huh, they came right after Daredevil.
How about that? How about that? I didn't do that on purpose, I swear.
You know what? I want that, but with the caveat that it's not a skin. I want all 4 of those fuckers to be in the game, and I want them all to fight different.
Yeah, and I don't want them to have the weird superpowers they had in the other game, like in their fighting game.
No, I want them to all fight different.
Yeah, and I want them to fight like the Ninja Turtles, you know?
Like, I mean, look, I know everyone hates it, but the Michael Bay movie is a really good example of how to make those guys really easily differentiated.
Oh, hell yeah. I don't know why. Well, I know why, but whatever.
I'm sad that movie.
Go to our other podcasts about the Ninja Turtles and listen to them and smile. Watch the current series. It's good as shit.
Yeah, that's just true. I'll do a couple here. Martian Manhunter, because, I mean, he's just really fucking good in Injustice.
Yeah.
And I see no reason to get rid of him.
I would like to tweak his moves a little bit, because I like Martian Manhunter, and I do owe that to you,
And,
actually.
like, there's a lot of dull seam stuff that could get scrubbed.
Yeah, because he's got so many powers, and it seems like focusing on his
He's better Superman.
He is better Superman.
He's just better he's better Superman.
Yeah.
He's just cooler. His weakness is way easier to integrate because it's a super common thing. He's fucking way more broke and OP, only, like, in different ways. Because he's, like, not as strong, but he is, like, as strong as everyone perceives Superman to be pop culturally.
Sure.
So it's just a good... You need Superman for a story, but Superman's kind of a Boy Scout. Insert Martian Manhunter. There you go. He's just... I made your day better. That's what they did in Supergirl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Manhunter's in it.
Oh, no, now I kind of want to watch Supergirl.
He's in it. He's a main character, and they do the effects.
Oh, no, I hate you,
I hear Supergirl's really fucking good, actually.
I know, but I don't give a shit about Supergirl.
Neither do I, and I kind of want to watch Supergirl.
Damn it, the boy. Damn it.
Martian Manhunter's in it. Killer Frost is in an episode. Livewire is like episode 2.
Yeah, but she's not played by the same actress as the cartoon.
No,
so.
well, she can't.
Yeah, Lori Petty's. She's an older lady now.
Oh, but
you
still.
can enjoy her in Orange is the New Black, and I did.
Yes, indeed.
Who's your next character there?
Raven. You probably know her from the Teen Titans, because that's where she was, that's where she showed up. But you probably know her from the Teen Titans cartoon series, because, let's face it, that's where most people know her from, because the Teen Titans are a popular comic book, but in comics land...
I mean, like, I didn't like her moveset in Injustice. Like, I was kind of excited to play her, and then I did, and I had regrets.
I forget she was in Injustice. I like her moveset so
Yeah, she's not good. And, you mentioned Raven, and since I don't have the slots here because I listed all 4 of the Ninja Turtles, I don't like the character, but Starfire would be a welcome addition for most people.
Yeah, like... Starfire kind of bores me. Like, rather, classic Starfire. The Teen Titans cartoon series Starfire is a gem. But classic Starfire's kind of a one-note character.
Well, I mean, sure. But
she's got cool powers, and she flies and shoots laser beams, and she's super strong, and I get it. Then Static, because fucking all Spider-Men are good.
No, Static, I must say, was in the iOS version of Injustice. I don't know if that was good. They had Static, Arkham Knight, somebody else, and Deadshot in that.
That's cool. I want him in a real fighting game, please.
Yeah.
But, yes, please. I like that character a lot. All Spider-Men are good.
And go ahead and hit the next one here.
Captain Marvel. That's Captain Marvel, not Shazam. I'll have none of your fucking Shazam horseshit here. Not Carol either. Fuck Carol. She's a bitch.
She is kind of a bitch.
Billy Batson. Classic Billy Batson. Not his emo, fucking edgy teen New 52 reboot. I'm so mad about all the changes to Shazam. You guys have no idea. But classic Billy Batson, Captain Marvel. Please put him in there. I don't like the grimdark version they put in the Injustice games. Can I just have someone who's hopeful for a fucking change?
Golly
Gosh darn.
Continuing with my thematics, I have the Shredder. Shredder was in the Turtles fighting game as well, but I don't feel like he was very well utilized. He didn't feel like a fucking, samurai.
He didn't feel like Orokusaki.
No, he didn't. He just felt like generic.
He felt like
boss.
Super Shredder from Secret of the Ooze.
No, not even that. That was more the Rat King. For whatever reason, they made the Rat King this roided up monstrosity who was like fucking Brock Lesnar.
Is the Rat King Grossette Moon?
He's got moves like M. Bison. Huh. So yes, the Rat King is indeed Crossette Moon.
Indeed.
Shredder wasn't bad, but they could have done him a whole lot better, and I would love to see him done really well.
That's not even similar to the Rat King.
And he can even have an ultimate move where he juices and becomes Super Shredder and is like, "No, I wreck your shit in." That'd be sick, dude.
That'd be sick as fuck.
I am curious about your justification for this, because I saw that and I was like, what the fuck? Okay.
Etrigan?
Yeah. In a fighting game? Why?
Cool fire demon powers. That's why.
I never see him fight.
He's got a great look.
To me, his power is the rhythm and the rhyme.
Gone the form of man.
So it's like a firebrand thing again.
Yeah, it's just a cool fiery demon guy.
Okay, alright.
That's just solid work, dude.
Okay.
You can have an alternate skin where he's a parademon. Because we can cross around and do stuff. An alternate skin where he's a parody would be fucking legit.
I'm gonna go ahead and do the next two in one little thing too. Bebop and Rocksteady.
But two separate characters.
Oh,
not
said definitely. I mean, you could probably get away with making them the same, but
like making one a skin for the other.
yeah. Or making them a tag team. They have like the same moves but different specials, and they tag out or something like that. I don't know, whatever. But I love Bebop and Rocksteady, so
maybe they got like 2 health bars. Like, unlike our other combined characters who would have 1 health bar.
Oh, yeah.
You could have Bebop and Rocksteady have 2 health bars, so they fucking take forever to take down.
And, like, Bebop has
but,
a
like,
bunch
they're
of...
kind of shit otherwise, so it's about, like, playing... It's about you play Tekken Tag and everyone else just plays Tekken.
Well, and which you can do in Tekken Tag Tournament, too. But, like, Bebop has more, like, guns and grenades and lasers and, like, gadgety shit. And Rocksteady has, like, one really good automatic rifle power, and then, like, the rest of his moves are, like, charges and shit like that. And their regular moveset is really basic, hard to combo if you don't have the specials and you aren't tagging. So once you deplete that first bar, like, you're playing with half a character, basically.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be really sick. It's good thinking there. This is why you're still part of the podcast.
I'm sorry, I should pretend to be offended or something. Alright, this next one's on here entirely for comedy value. You ready? You ready? Google Death the Black Racer. I'll give you a minute to laugh. That's right. That's right. It's one of the new gods. He's cool. He's a personification of death. He's, a partner to Death the Endless from Sandman. Just fucking, but, like, you go ahead and you give it a look-see. You sidle on up, listener, and White's doing it here too.
I'm doing it. Oh,
that is death. That is death. That is the death that comes for fucking Darkseid eventually.
I did. Oh, well, that's pretty fucking cool.
That is Death the Black Racer.
Like, the new one's not bad.
No, the new one's not bad.
Nah,
that's the one
good.
who chases the Flash around.
He's got skis still though, and that's interesting.
He's a African American man on skis.
He's a Swedish ski infantry.
He's Swedish ski infantry, and much like them, he is the personification of death.
There was a guy back in the day. I'm going to try to find him while we're talking about the rest.
But he's also the personification of death, so he could be cool and have cool powers. But no, I'm sorry, he looks fucking ridiculous. Side note, he's a main character in JLA Rock of Ages, one of the best written Justice League stories of all time. And I still think he looks ridiculous.
He does look absolutely ludicrous. He looks like a Sentinel drawn by someone who is being described as Sentinel by someone who didn't fully know what a Sentinel is.
And then they decided to add skis. Why skis?
Why don't you go ahead and go into your next 2, because they should be quick.
Well, honestly, okay, nerds. These are very different characters. I know that. Have Darkseid, because Darkseid's great, and then give him a Thanos skin. Now, nerds, calm down. No, I'm joking. Like, they fight different enough, and Thanos' thing could be about, like, building up enough charge to get all 5 gems and to get all the gems in the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
And then, like, once he gets him, he, like, powers up, and and it's, like, much harder. He's, like, fucking the first Akuma. He's just broke. And then Darkseid, I think he's in Injustice 2, right?
Yeah, Darkseid. He was also in the old SNES DC fighting game, which sucked.
In Injustice 2, it looks like he's going to be exactly how I want Darkseid to be. Because every single screenshot of him is him standing with his hands behind his back having just fucked someone up. So I want him to be almost lazy looking. Like, he moves as little as he possibly can and still fucks you up.
There he is, Captain Ultra. This
wow,
guy...
holy shit, that guy does look like Death the Black Racer.
He does kind of. It's what it reminded me of him. The only reason I know about him is because he was in the same Winter Marvel comic that Squirrel Girl debuted in.
And who is this?
Captain Ultra. I guess he was in a show recently. That's pretty cool. He's got a lot of weird powers. He used to be a stand-up comedian. Like,
fucking comics, man.
He's a really oddball but interesting character.
And why would you want him? Or is that what you're...
Just he's got a lot of interesting shit going on.
That's fair.
He used to be a smoker, and he's got superhuman strength, durability, reflexes and endurance, flight, X-ray vision, super breath, intangibility. So he could be a Martian Manhunter.
Yeah,
costume.
Captain Ultra as a Martian Manhunter costume. Sold.
He was with the Defenders for a while.
Absolutely sold as Captain Ultra as a Martian Manhunter costume. Especially if we slow our roll on the Dulcine powers for Martian Manhunter.
Definitely. All right, well, I'm playing catch up now. So, Tim Drake, who I assume is the Robin in Injustice 2, since we had Nightwing in the last one. And
also we had Damian Wayne in the last one.
Yeah. So, I like Tim Drake. He's my favorite Robin. That's why I want him. The end.
I'm going to go ahead and add on the Red Hood, because I like Jason Todd as the Red Hood. Yeah. Jason Todd as Robin is... Look, they did a phone vote to kill him, and he deserved it. If you ever go back and read those comics, he's an annoying little twat.
I forget he existed. I don't forget Jason Todd existed, but, I forget that he was the second Robin, not Tim Drake.
He was, yeah, to be fair. So did Batman, kind of. That's kind of what Jim's mad about. Ouch. I just called him Jim. Shit, now he's gonna come after me.
I'm not Jim Todd, you asshole.
Jim, fucking Bim Todd? I don't know. Bim, that doesn't even make sense.
Bort Todd.
Bort.
Oh, Jesus.
Was it Tom? It's Tom, right? I want to kill you.
Look, Tommy Tucho?
Look, let's be a real murder guy. You were gonna kill me before. I'm just having fun before I go.
That is fair. And then he caves your head in with a brick.
No, he shoots me. Come on, he's a pussy.
Ouch.
What? Fucking fight me, Scrub Lord. You're not real.
Oh, hot fire.
I want Rocket and Groot. As a unit. Not Rocket with a Groot special. Fucking Rocket and Groot. Together on screen at once. You're fighting Groot and Rocket's fucking riding him like an awesome little fucking backpack shooting fucking guns at you and shit.
Yeah, I didn't like how the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy were handled in Marvel vs. Capcom. And Rocket had some weird powers.
I want Rocket with, big guns, and he's, fucking riding on Groot, and you're fighting Groot, and, their special is Groot gets real, Groot gets hard.
Yeah, Groot becomes a hard man.
Yeah, and then Rocket takes out a giant gun at the same time, and, if it's Marvel vs. Capcom, Groot does, the plant arms where they extend, and they just keep extending, and then Rocket is firing a gun, and that's their, big screen Philly special. Yeah.
I want the spoiler.
As a character, yeah, but,
she could just be a Robin reskin. I don't give a shit.
That's fair.
I like Stephanie Brown a lot. I liked the spoiler outfit more than her as Robin.
That's absolutely fair.
That's what I want.
This is the last one on my list. I want any of the new gods besides Darkseid and Granny Goodness.
Fucking Granny Goodness!
I say any because I like most of them, and I feel like they get underutilized. You could use Orion, you could use Kalibak, really, either side. Fucking New Genesis, Apocalypse, I don't care. Just give me some new gods, because they're cool.
I want Toyman.
Just because he drives a big nutcracker?
You could come up with a
Oh
lot
my
of
god,
really fun shit.
Toyman is a Sentinel reskin.
No.
And, he fires, rocket sleds instead of just rockets.
There's better shit. You use toys.
And he has the fucking big punchy glove on a spring instead of the extendo fist.
That definitely needs to be a thing. But so that winds up our list. I hope you guys have enjoyed. That was in no particular order of desire, other than this occurred to me first.
So yeah, in that way, that I guess the thing that comes to you first is the thing you want the most. You could say that is the order, but not really.
Oh, I forgot to mention Anti-Venom, who can just be a Venom skin, but...
Yeah, I mean, he's just a Venom skin.
Yeah.
That's just white Venom.
Now, about halfway through our lists, I started listing off some characters who are indeed comic book characters, but are not superhero characters. And the Boy and I thought better of...
thought better that quickly, because we both quickly realized that, oh shit, alright, this list will be endless now.
Yeah.
We have to stop.
However, I think on both sides, they bear mentioning. Go ahead, and why don't you do yours first?
I'll do both. First is Agent 355 from Why the Last Man, my favorite character from that comic.
She's cool.
She's cool, she's fun, I think her moveset would be cool, and I think she could have fun lines with various people.
Yeah.
My second one is Harry Dresden, because there's a Harry Dresden comic. You guys know how much I like Harry Dresden. Fine, I'll include him too.
Free extra wizard.
Yeah, free extra wizard. Look, I'm at like 5 wizards on this list already. If we count Etrigan 6, let's add another.
Well, and I was looking at Image Comics characters, and that's what kind of got me on this line. I mentioned Michonne at first.
Michonne would be cool. Well, like a lot of these guys, since they're not superheroes, would be very simple characters, but that's not bad.
Well, but she's got that cool katana. You can have a lot of cool moves with that. You could. She walks it.
Lots of guys in fighting games have cool katanas.
Well, but not in this fighting game.
That's fair.
But she'd have to walk in with her zombies. You know, that'd be cool. Maybe she can use them like fucking Frank West does.
Yeah. Like he just like throws them at you.
Dodges out of the way as some come stalking in, or like Jill Valentine did in Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I also thought Rick and Carl Grimes would be great.
But as one character?
Yeah, as one character.
What does Carl do?
I think like Rick is who you're usually playing as, but you can like enter a Carl state, and Carl comes out and he's harder to hit, but once you hit him, he has to go away. And he's got like really good special moves, like he's got a shotgun.
Like so Carl's the hard man.
Yeah, Carl's the hard. Well, like like the show,
like the show, where Carl's the one with the balls in the family now. And then you had the last one.
I had Scott Pilgrim.
That's just good. That's
just all kinds of cool stuff you could do with that.
That's just a good idea. Like he could do a Hadouken. No one would care.
Yeah, fuck it. When he beats people, they turn into money. That'd be awesome.
That'd be fucking crazy.
Wouldn't it be though?
Just I'd like punch the Shocker. The Shocker becomes money.
And since Deadpool would be in the game, as we said, because he's gonna be, he could like be freaked out about it or something. Like if you do a tag mode, he's like, "Where did he go?
Or
why is he money now?
Or like
come back, Herman."
Or have him say something like if he's fighting this guy, he's like, "Uh-oh. I don't think I can regenerate from being made into currency.
I will not be bus fare." Oh, shit. Well, yeah. So, if anybody out there has millions of dollars to acquire the rights to both Marvel and DC...
I mean, you're looking at least several hundred.
And Image Comics. And who knows what the fuck else. And really wants to make a video game with Granny Goodness in it.
Or someone who has a lot of time on their hands, is good at making fighting games, and has a loose ideas towards copyright.
So if we have any Chinese
and won't
listeners,
charge. That way we don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
This is our idea. This is our roster. Get to work.
Yep.
I could end the podcast here, but I want to make it awkward. Everything's better when nerds talk about it. The best part about those is you can edit them out, and you don't.
God damn it.
Fuck it, let's get hardcore!